Starting off today, I dropped some new UGC Roblox accessories that you can buy with a third eye face accessory. There's a few different symbols for each eye that you can check out, and we'll be dropping even more hair and accessories in the future for all the anime and manga you want to see. Join the group and follow me on Roblox to help me out. Alright, let's get into it. What's up guys, it's Punchy, and today we're here with yet another Deepwoken update. Today, I'll do what I can to test everything new so I can show you what's coming in this patch. Last week, I wasn't too happy about any of the big changes with the rework jobs making them more of a chore and killing the Shrine of Order builds with all the talent scaling, but hopefully this week there's some improvements. Anyway, as always, the best way to experience everything new is to hop in the game and try it out for yourself. Make sure to like and subscribe so I can hit 120k subscribers, and let's get into it. Starting off strong with some talents, today we got a lot of goodies for the willpower stat that was seriously falling behind. Nobody really invested heavily into this attribute, but we got a few support talents here and there to check out. Playing off the talent All the Dead Gods, this talent originally applied a status on attacks that negated all healing, making it just impossible for players to regen at all after being hit. So in this patch, there's a couple of new additions that really make this talent shine. Starting off with the talent Sin Stacker. This talent is pretty expensive, requiring a high stat investment, but it plays off All the Dead Gods status. Anyway, Dead Gods duration is now based on how many stacks of anti-heal you have on your opponent, essentially making it better if you're more aggressive. Instead of having a set duration, you can ramp it up by hitting them a lot, and this can be decent, but it might fall behind if you can't slap players continuously. Another talent that supports Dead Gods is here with All Above Gods Below. Any healing your opponent receives under the Dead God status will be negated entirely, just like before, but all of the healing is stolen and given to the user. This works just as so. If a player attempts to heal whatsoever, that's being siphoned away just like Saint J. Moving on to a different talent path, these ones are all about boss rating, starting with Against All Odds. So this talent says for each combat tag from a unique player, your damage will increase by a set percent. Simply, we deal more damage if you're being jumped, otherwise this isn't really doing anything. Next up with a crazy talent, we have Emergency Reserves. Being hit when low will grant you a tempo pack with a pretty long cooldown, and this is pretty nice. Usually 20% of your tempo is enough to vent once and get people off of you, and that's game changing and can save you. Moving forward with Unswayed, this is a counter to Charisma. This talent negates taunt and encore entirely, meaning you just can't be slowed or stunned by any charisma options. Taunt forces enemies to take more damage and removes their jump, while encore stuns charmed enemies. Being able to brute force and push right through these statuses is kinda peak, and I like this one. Up next with Echoing Lunatic, this is kinda goofy. Ardor Scream now grants enemies insanity, and that's about it. This is kinda unavoidable and decent to use, and it might be good for stacking debuffs. With yet another talent, we have Absolute Pitch. So this talent allows ritual casted mantras to happen instantly, and that might be worth the investment. Abilities that require multiple button presses to activate won't, and that can be pretty powerful. Next, we got more talents, and these have to do with mantra feints. With the talent Keen Recovery, landing a basic attack after a mantra feint gives you ether back, making it cost nothing. So this is a great buff towards mix-ups and roll catches, and it leads into other talents as well. Building off Keen Recovery, we also have Behind You. This talent says after hitting an M1 behind your enemy after doing an M1 feint, does extra damage based on how much ether you have. So essentially, you do a mantra feint and then hit your enemies back with an M1 and get a damage boost the more ether you have. With the synergy with Behind You and Shadowcast, we have Reverse Leech. Anytime Behind You is procced, we steal ether as well, and there's nothing too crazy about this, it's just an ether bonus. Moving forward with some specific rifle class talents, these weapons finally have some support. First with Leg Shot, landing a rifle bullet crit slows enemies and disables any speed boost they can get for a short duration. Paired up with Bear Trap to disable jump, your rifle crits are going to be pretty crippling if you land them. Next with Stock Bash, your running attacks with rifles daze enemies briefly, and this is alright for keeping them in place. Without this option, it's still pretty easy to lock down opponents, but landing them back to back with running attacks, you know, that daze might be kinda cracked. On to Tactical Reload, this is an active tool talent. So using this tool lets your rifle shoot bullet M1s for a short duration, and that's pretty powerful. After I use this, there's a visual which indicates that I shoot projectile M1s, and yeah, it's pretty spammy. That was just insane, but we actually got a buff to Silent Heart, re-adding old content to the the oath, we have Katti back on Silent Heart, but it works a bit differently instead. So this talent is called Silent Cascade, and it builds up after landing physical attacks on enemies. So simply control plus M2 to teleport to them when this is built up, and yeah, it's old Katti back on Silent Heart. Share your thoughts about this down below. Also, dropping in the update, we've got a few new weapons to mess around with coming from the recent Great Cannon class. This was originally added with the Eden brand Hell Coil from Titus, but now we have a few non-legendary options. Starting off with the Summer HULLWRECKER. This giant cannon looks like a cannon and functions as one as well. The M1 attacks are fairly normal compared to other heavy weapons, but its critical is a little bit different. We charge up our shot similar to the Eden brand, but this time we release a cannon projectile. So this can be aimed and it's kinda janky, but it shoots and can be enchanted. Similarly, there's also another option with the barrel that's a little bit higher investment with more endgame stats. Both of these weapons swing the same and have the same exact critical, and there's not much else to say. I'd say for landing the criticals, I don't know how easy that's gonna be, but the chip damage and posture on block is absolutely overpowered, and I guess we'll see how this plays out. Leave your thoughts about this down below. In this update, GALE WISP has also received a cosmetic overhaul, reworking how it looks while preserving the original shape and idea. Previously, this is what GALE WISP looked like, but here's the updated version which glows and looks a bit more polished. With another cosmetic change, we actually got some race aspect updates that are super cool. So for CHRYSID, the moth race, it's now possible to pick up and choose neck fluff or fur that they have in real life. It's a toggleable option that could look pretty cool depending on your drip. Besides that, there's new eye shapes and eyebrow options for CHRYSID which complement each other, and I'm a fan. Additionally, if you want to swap up your colors, there's also a new variant. Besides this, VESPERIAN has a new mask design too, if you want to check that out as well. Starting off our balance, there's a few changes here and there that I want to highlight. As a basic update to how scaling works, the damage penalty for wielding a weapon below its requirements now scales based on how far away you are from those requirements. So essentially, if you had a weapon that's bugged or changed in any way and you cannot physically wield that with your stats but you're still using this, it's gonna gradually ramp downward in damage instead of being sliced in half just for being like missing a single point. It's gonna slowly ramp down. I think this change is pretty much healthy, and it's a bit of an improvement instead of super punishing old builds. Next up with an oath, we got some nice accessibility with BLIGHTSURGER. With this oath, Sovereign State, the earnable mode, is now cancelable if you want to turn it off or turn it on. This is overall pretty nice for using your abilities when you need them, and you can finally preserve resources instead of just, being forced to use it. Besides this, Sovereign State's slam down critical is now faster to use with less windup, making it kinda hard to avoid in combat. Moving on with a talent removal, Return to the Dark Ages, a very meta talent, has been removed from the game. Previously, this talent allowed players to become more tanky to mantras while reducing their own output, but it's been deleted entirely. I honestly see no issue with this since it just speeds up fights and everyone is playing on the same defense level now. So, talking about some mantras, we got a big nerf coming to Master's Flourish, one of the most classic, beloved mantras in the game. This ability's wind up comes out slightly slower, not really changing too much, but yes, it is objectively nerfed to be slower. Also, the damage when leveling this up has been decreased by 25%, meaning as you level this thing up, it's not going to be dealing as much damage as it did before. And with that, this week's content comes to a close. As always, hop in game for weekly Battle Royale and check out all the new stuff too. Tell me what you think down below and I'll tell the devs. Thanks once again to all the supporters who motivate me daily and directly support the channel. If you want to join as a member, feel free down below, and besides that, my personal Discord, Guild Discord, and my UGC group are linked, so check them out. Thanks once again, and make sure to like and subscribe. It's punchin' time.